SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Are you a business owner looking for help with HR benefits and payroll? MWG Employer Services offers a wide range of services and can create a custom plan that fits your needs and budget.
I was so overwhelmed with HR stuff. MWG Employer Services took all the stress out of it and even set up my payroll. I couldn't be happier. MWG
Employer Services is here to help you succeed. Call us today at 601-206-7966 or go to MWGEmployerServices.com.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C-Spire. Power your home or business with C-Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C-Spire. C-Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome in Sports Talk Mississippi. Michael Borkey and Brian Hadad with you as we always are on this Monday, although kind of a unique Monday here on this show, considering what a good portion of this state is dealing with right now. You look at the power outage map, and it's just like a big old scar has been placed on the state of Mississippi. I mean, starting from basically Madison County north and west is kind of where the dividing line is, but it's just a diagonal line across the state of Mississippi where we have. And people throw around the phrase historic too often when talking about weather events when it's not really historic. This one is, unfortunately, a historic ice event, and there's not much relief incoming to the north half of the state. It's just not going to get hot enough, unfortunately, today anyway, to start melting off some of this ice. Now, apparently there's some relief coming later in the week that will hopefully get a lot of the weight off of these trees and your houses and the power lines and things like that, trying to get just everybody's life back together. But I don't know about you, Hadad. I've talked to a bunch of people that live in the area that's been devastated by this, and it's true, it's ugly. I mean, there's uncertainty about when they'll get power back. There is losing the ability to keep themselves warm. There's elderly folks, young children that there's a lot of questions about what the heck can we do, let alone what do we do, but what can we do? Yeah, it's devastating to see the images and hear the stories right now, and we're just thinking about all of you. If you can listen, I know we've got some stations down and a lot of people without power, but if you are hearing our voices right now or watching us somehow, we are thinking about and praying for you, because this is it's truly devastating, and we just hope you guys are trying to stay warm and are okay through all of this.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that, you know, no matter how much we prepare in Mississippi, we're not equipped to deal with severe winter weather the way, you know, the states up in the north are, and this is kind of what happens. And even if we had been ultra prepared, I don't know how much more you could have done, you know, when you look at what's happened in Oxford and some of the places in North Mississippi. So yes, we want all that ice to melt. Like I said, it's not going to happen today, but as the rest of the week goes along, we should see some relief. And one thing I did see, I think I saw a SuperTalk tweet out that, as far as we know, no deaths have come as a result of all this. So let's keep that number at zero for as long as we can. We'll move it into sports now, and we are in the Pearl River Resort studios. When the weather is a little nicer, a weekend at Pearl River Resort might be just the reward you need for making it through these icy days here in January. But it doesn't matter what you like to do for fun. We can get you taken care of at Pearl River Resort. If you want to relax or if you want to have great entertainment, they've got you at Pearl River Resort. C-Spire text line open to you at 601-879-4395. The best teams know how to get even better. That's why C-Spire constantly enhances their wireless, fiber, internet, and business solutions for you. Visit cspire.com today. C-Spire, inspired by you.
Yeah, there's a good text here. It essentially follows the Natchez Trace is really the dividing line there. We got lucky here in central Mississippi. Now, some people did lose power, but compared to some of the stuff that you've seen and heard from up, I talked to somebody that Saturday night, all they could hear was just trees popping. They were laying in bed, no power. And just you heard sound of trees pop. It sounded like car accidents is how they described it. It sounded like cars were just.
It's so crazy.
Constant car accidents.
What's so different between like an hour away from me? I'm here in Starkville, right? We had some rain. Just a little bit of rain. It was cold. We had the lightest dusting of snow possible this morning. But I mean, outside my house, it's clear skies, no ice on the ground, very little ice on it. And then 90 minutes north of me, it looks like the day after tomorrow up there. So it's crazy how close things can be. Starkville just lives in a bubble. Starkville occasionally will get severe weather, but man, whenever it doesn't matter what it is. If it's tornadoes, hurricanes, ice, snow, it never hits Starkville for whatever reason. And
the mayor of Oxford was on, I think it was Fox, one of the big news channels. I saw the clip earlier where she said, the way the town looks is not going to look the same when the ice melts. I mean, it's truly looks like an ice tornado went through the entirety of the town. I mean, iconic trees and things like that just down and gone. And Saul Richards' appearance on his show. Now, that's not a shot. He literally cannot do his show right now because there's no power anywhere for him to do his show. But he was able to hop on with Dave this morning with his cell phone and give an update. And, I mean, there's a lot of questions that are unable to be answered right now. And our news team's here. They'll provide updates throughout the day. They have provided updates throughout the day. And if there's anything new to add other than what we've said, we will certainly add it. But somebody, when I was doing the podcast last night, just kind of thanked me for the distraction. They were in their home watching on their phone, and they're like, hey, I'm glad that you're doing this to, give me something else to think about. That's what we're going to do for the rest of the day. We're just going to do a normal show as best we can and hope to provide you guys a little bit of a distraction, maybe some laughs. We'll talk Super Bowl. It has been decided. You had your conference championships yesterday. We will get into that. All the hoopla about a former G League player, and by former, I mean literally just days before playing in the G League, loses their game against Tennessee, and Tennessee had the best clapback you've ever seen. We'll get to winners and losers, transfer portal update, and there's still some discussion about this Dabo Swinney thing, I think, to be had as well. So we've got a lot to get to, and we're just glad that you guys are with us. And also, I do think now we can just say that on Sports Talk Mississippi, we're on to baseball. We are on to baseball.
Well, we still have some football to talk about. But
yes.
Yeah, by and large, that's a done deal at this point. With State, goodness gracious, 4 of their last 5 games they've lost by 20-plus points. So I'm getting to the point where it's about can we finish the season with a little dignity here in Starkville? I don't know if that's the case or not. They play LSU on Wednesday. That's a terrible LSU team, 1-6 in the conference. I mean, if you get blown out by them, I mean, what am I doing? Why am I tuned in? Yeah. So I know the listenership doesn't want to hear about it at this point.
No, certainly not. And I mean, Ole Miss plays Kentucky really close. They could have, should have, would have won that game. But they've been close so often, and when you don't do winning things, close doesn't matter. You're not a good enough team. And when you give up 3 offensive rebounds on missed free throws, and it's a 1-possession game all the way up until the end, that's on you. I mean, they did play well. They did some nice things, and it just doesn't matter because they're not making winning plays, and that's why they're not a winning team, and that's why they have, in effect, I mean, look, if they beat Vanderbilt on Saturday, if that game even can get played, I mean, the Ole Miss campus is closed all week at a minimum, so who knows what that'll look like. But I guess if they beat Vanderbilt, you still have to put the game on when it comes on, but if they don't win on Saturday, then it's most certainly over. But they already have such a steep hill to climb. And, I mean, there's nothing that they have done that tells you that they're willing and capable of climbing that hill. So, what is it, 17 days? Until
I believe
18
that's correct.
days?
Something like that, yeah. Something like
whatever.
That. It's the 13th, so you do the math.
Yeah, we are. We'll talk a lot about baseball on this show.
As we should.
Now and then, yeah, two good teams here in the SEC part of the state, and then Southern Miss, a preseason ranked team, as they should be. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot to get excited about. Somebody says Mississippi State is plus 260 to make Omaha. Should I jump on that? Yeah, if you're getting plus money,
I would absolutely. Yeah, that's. Yeah, that's a good value bet.
We need to look at what are the rest of those odds. Send us a link if you don't mind. I've not seen baseball Omaha futures yet, so send those our way because I want to see those. I'm curious to know where State falls in that pecking order. I assume UCLA would be at the very top.
Yeah,
because everybody thinks they're the best team.
I wonder if anybody's in the negatives there. I wonder if anybody's by like minus 100, minus 125.
Maybe UCLA.
Maybe, but I mean it's such a crapshoot. I don't know.
I would not bet on that. I wouldn't take negative odds on a team to make Omaha, knowing what we know about baseball. So, really glad that you guys are with us. 601-879-4395 is the C Spire text line. If you can hear us, be a part of the show. We'd love to have you, and we appreciate all of you being here and hope you are safe out there. We are Sports Talk Mississippi from the Pearl River Resort Studio. I do think we should put a bow on this Clemson-Dabo Pete Golding conversation, though. I think that if we just didn't bring it up today, that would be not doing our jobs.
All right.
So we'll bring that back up if there's anything, because I had one thought, basically. One more thought to add on this story. And if you and you guys on the text line have anything else, we'll get to that when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi. Don't go anywhere.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
Woo! I say, sports fans.
Now, here's more on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. On the C Spire text line from Steve, Ole Miss and Clemson need to buy out a non-conference game on their schedule and play immediately this coming fall. No kidding. How much fun would that be?
That needs to happen. Yeah.
Oh, man, that would be electric. And somebody says, on this talk about Clemson Ole Miss, would your guys' opinion or conversation be different if Dabo was accusing Michigan or Alabama of the same thing? No.
No, not at all.
Not at all. And so I watched, because we had to react to it in real time on Friday, and there was just kind of a lot going on. I finally sat down and watched the entire thing, and two things. Number one, the overwhelming majority of the things that he said are agreeable positions. Mm-hmm. Truly. I mean, like, when you listen to it, you find yourself nodding along, like, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. You're right about that. It's a problem. He brought up collective bargaining. Oh, okay. I like that, too. It's about time that somebody in that position says, you know what, maybe, guys, we should start treating them like pros so we can actually get rules. I found myself nodding along a lot to what he had to say because it's an agreeable position.
Right.
Everybody, I say everybody, most everybody in college football understands that, hey, look, like us, you and I love the football. The football's been great. Parity's been great. It doesn't mean that the system is great, but the football itself has been great. The system sucks. It's terrible. The fact that he is able to lose a player after he arrives on campus, that sucks. That also, you recognize the name Tyler Barron, Hadad?
I do.
That happened to Ole Miss a couple years ago, actually. Tennessee transfer defensive end arrives in Oxford, gets an apartment, enrolls in classes, and then decides to go to Miami. That sucks. That is the system, and especially when, again, I would be very surprised if anything actually, like truly, like tangible, like hard punishment comes from this, especially when he admitted that they didn't actually have the text messages. They didn't actually have it. an agent communicated to them that I will give them to you if you do this for my player, and Clemson said no. So they don't actually have any of it, or at least that's what they said on Friday. So the likelihood of it being something severe is kind of small. But he is right. He's very right about basically everything that he said. And also, I was talking to a friend earlier about this. Luke Ferrelli went to kind of the one school that has a leg to stand on in the portal era. They signed their biggest portal class ever, 9 guys. Yeah. Like, they have had a coach that has been super reluctant to dive into this world, and it is a dirty, ugly world. But he hasn't dived into that world. And so there is a possibility that they did kind of mess with the one person that might have some level of leg to stand on here, which is an interesting thing because there's basically no other coach at this level that has a leg to stand on when it comes to tampering. Dabo very well might actually be able to do all of this and not have to worry about somebody coming after him for the same thing. Lane Kiffin couldn't do this.
We talked about that on Friday, that we said that, it's like you pick the one guy that might be clean enough to go against. If this player had enrolled at Alabama or Virginia Tech or Oregon State, literally anywhere else in the country,
nothing would happen.
The other coach just goes, well, I'm mad, but what am I going to do? I've done the same thing, right? He picked the one guy that's a paragon of virtue in a sea of corruption, as best you can. And I'm going to say this.
That is what makes this different and interesting.
If they can prove that Golding texted this guy, and I know they say they did it, there's going to be some sort of investigation. I don't know how deep and how.
Pete Thamel said on McAfee today that the NCAA has confirmed they are going to look into it.
I think, and I'm not trying to come on here and tell you that Ole Miss, I saw a Mississippi State person shut down the program, fire all the coaches, and burn the stadium. That feels like the only thing you can do in this situation. But I do think something's going to happen. Maybe, a one-game suspension. I could easily see Golding missing the season opener, or if they allow him to do what Michigan did whenever they play the FCS team or something like that.
They got Charlotte in week 2, I think.
Yeah, Golding probably. If you said, Brian, right now, what do you think's going to happen? I bet Pete Golding doesn't coach that game.
Yeah, because Michigan established the precedent.
You can pick and choose.
Which is so stupid, by the way.
But it is what it is, right? Yeah. If they let Sharon Moore, which, by the way, kind of funny how that all works out. But, yeah, if Sharon Moore gets to pick and choose and he gets to go coach the Oklahoma game, then Pete Golding should be able to say, all right, I'll take week 2 against Charlotte off, and, they'll be all right without me. I would almost be willing to bet something like that happens.
If they can prove it.
If they can prove it.
And I don't know. We will see if they can. I do. Some of the national reaction was not bothersome, but it was the people that cover the sport. I was asked to go on a show in South Carolina today, literally right now, and of course I had to say no.
You could have gone. I had to look for.
But we exchanged messages, and I was like, it's clear that Clemson people have not lived in this world. Because there is this flabbergasted. I cannot believe that this. Because at first he didn't believe me. I was like, man. This is pretty commonplace. I mean, you have to do that if you want to get good portal players. And he was like, yeah, but really? Or is it just Ole Miss? I said, man, look at the number of players. Go search Pete Nakos's Twitter feed and look for player has entered portal with no contact tag. And just read how many times that happens. Why do you think they're entering the portal with a no contact tag? Because they already know where they're going. How do they already know where they're going?
Right.
So there's this. So locally, I understand why they're aghast about this. But some of the national reaction I found to be interesting. It's like, you guys know how this works. Mm-hmm. You know exactly how this works, and right now you're pretending that you don't.
Yeah. And the other thing to consider in this is that the tampering thing is a level 2 violation. So it's just not, even if they get him dead to rights, like they're like, oh yeah, here is the text message, we produced it. Maybe it's a little longer suspension, but like, I don't know how much they're going to actually do to the program of Ole Miss.
Yeah, somebody says postseason bowl ban. You're kidding yourself.
No chance.
No
chance. No chance for one level 2 violation. Now look, if they do an investigation, they find a whole other can of worms. We'll get there. We'll worry about that when we get there. But yeah, the idea that I think that if anything, it's going to be a problem for Golding more than it's a problem for Ole Miss, if that makes sense.
Somebody says if Lane truly contacted recruits directly, as Golding might have done, would Ole Miss turn him in now? I would bet no right now unless they know they're going down. Then you just burn all of the ships down with you. But like this, what usually happens in the tampering situation is everybody, as Hadad said, everybody doesn't like it, but nobody does anything about it. Like, even as frustrated as Ole Miss was internally about Lane throwing Hail Marys at the final hour, Pete Golding wasn't going to have a press conference about it. And here's why. There's a particular player that signed to stay with Mississippi State that, I mean, for how many weeks did you hear about another SEC school, one of the former SEC East variety, trying to convince him to jump back into the portal? A specific wide receiver at Mississippi State was trying to be convinced to get back into the portal. And we knew that for weeks. He didn't go. Great for Mississippi State that he didn't go, obviously. They were able to fight that off, but they were dealing with that for a long time. What people have done until now is just kind of shut their mouths about it. This is the first coach to come public with it, but there's a reason that Jeff Lebby didn't have a press conference to talk about his player that was trying to get poached for weeks.
Yeah.
There's a reason that after Lane FaceTimed with all the players and was giving them offers, that Ole Miss didn't have a press conference about it.
Another concern I would have with Ole Miss is how long ago was the Jerry and Jones thing? Are we in a 5-year window for that?
I mean, they never actually got punished, though.
They never got a public punishment.
Well, it was just, hey, stop recruiting them and it'll all go away.
There was a little more.
What was it then?
Well, do you know why Malik Heath wasn't able to sign with Ole Miss until late in the process?
Why? Because
Ole Miss wasn't allowed to sign transfers for like 12 months.
For 12 months?
Or 6 months or something. They were given, I don't think it ever got public, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. I feel confident in my assessment that is the case.
There was a 6-month period where they were not allowed to sign transfers?
Yeah.
Or were they,
they
encouraged strongly to not sign Mississippi State transfers?
They were allowed to take commitments, but like Malik Heath didn't get to Ole Miss until late in the process. Remember that?
Yeah, but it's not like he was the only transfer in the class. Are we sure it's not school specific?
It may have been school specific. May have been SEC specific. I don't know. I just know that was something that happened.
I do remember when they were not allowed to sign those players.
Yeah.
They went to Florida State.
They did.
And we're going to commercial. We'll be right back.
From the Seabrook Sports Talk, Mississippi.
Are you ready?
On the SuperTalk app, supertalk.fm, and always on your local SuperTalk Mississippi station.
Sports Talk Mississippi, we're back with you here on a Monday afternoon. Brian Hadad and Michael Borkey. Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you in part by AgriGold. AgriGold believes progress in the field starts with seed and the people who plant it. That's why AgriGold focuses 100% on seed, delivering trusted genetics and solutions to help you get more out of every acre. Contact Kerry Baker at 662-836-7417. He's your local AgriGold representative to learn more. Or you can visit agrigold.com to explore seed solutions and agronomy resources. Plant your legacy today with AgriGold.
Somebody in the text line says, my concern on these commits is that a rule should be put in place like once a player commits, they should have to sign a contract keeping them at the school that they've committed to. If no contract, then a player can keep transferring whenever they decide. Therefore, all this back and forth can be stopped, and coaches can't keep accusing other schools for tampering. Yes, that would be That would be ideal. They're just not willing to do what needs to be done to get that to happen.
And it's so funny, and it's just football. Basketball and baseball, for whatever reason, once a kid commits, you very rarely see a flip. I don't know why there's this gentleman's agreement amongst basketball and baseball coaches, but you don't see a flip very often. It's one thing like with Josh Hubbard because Ole Miss changed coaches. But, in terms of an actual, the kid flips, you don't ever see signing day flips in basketball. Never. Baseball, those kids commit out pretty early, but,
the calendars make more sense there. Baseball's a lot more gentlemanly from the coaches.
State's gotten 2 flips in my life that I can remember off the top of my head. And they're 2 of the biggest players in state history, is Jake Mangum and Tanner Allen. But, it just doesn't happen very often. It's just football for whatever reason.
It is. Somebody says, perfect opportunity for the NCAA to make an example. Yes, you, Mississippi State fan, would love for them to do that because, they keep beating you on the field.
Did that text come through? I didn't realize I sent that. But there's something to that, but at the same time, I feel like the NCAA's example-making days are kind of behind them.
What I would be concerned about if I were we were talking during the break, what does Greg Sankey do? Because here's what I think would happen if the NCAA decides, hey, we have teeth today, which we'll see, and actually tries to punish Ole Miss. Do you know who else comes down with them? Everybody else in the SEC. Maybe not Clemson, but all of LSU's dirty laundry gets aired. Missouri's got dirty laundry to get aired. Georgia's got – everybody does in the SEC anyway. Everybody does. So that's what the string of events that would happen after would be pretty substantial. And if you're at the league office, you can't allow that to happen. At least I don't think you can. So you might have to start pulling your weight behind the scenes. And even if you're the commissioner of the ACC, again, how do you think where do you think Mensa's going to go? How do you think that went down?
Yeah.
If you're the commissioner of the ACC, do you really want your conference to start pointing fingers at people? No, that answer's no. Because your best program in your conference right now, no longer Clemson, it's not Clemson anymore, is very publicly guilty of it as well. So the ripple effects of that would be fascinating to see because I don't think you're going to get anybody to go down with the ship solo. So what happens then? What I think ultimately is going to happen is you're going to get the conferences to come together this offseason and do something on their own. Because, the NCAA has no subpoena power. Dabo said in the press conference, all you have to do is get his phone. Well, good luck, man. Legally, you can't. So if that's what you've got, hey, investigator, just go get this player's phone. I hate to tell you, they can't. They're legally not allowed. They're not allowed. So if that's what you got, then you're kind of, you got nothing if that's what you got. So if they want to actually prove their case, they need a heck of a lot more than that. Other than, well, the agent said this to me. How do you know the agent was telling the truth? Here's the thing about agents. They lie. They lie all the time. There are agents that have operated on behalf of players that are currently at Ole Miss and Mississippi State that lied to both Ole Miss and Mississippi State about bigger offers from elsewhere. And I know this for a fact. Ole Miss, and I assume Mississippi State, but I know Ole Miss called the bluff on at least one of them, and the player stayed. So, I don't know. I am interested in that. Would Clemson sue in civil court?
Can't imagine. That would be the interesting one, though, right? If they could somehow prove damages, which is the tough part.
Yeah, how do you prove damages?
I don't know how you prove damages. But if you could, then you have subpoena power. And then once it becomes part of the public record, then the NCAA could just look at it. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. Chase says, I get multiple texts a day of recruiting contracts to go do therapy at other places all over the country, and I'm very much employed. What the heck is tampering? This is just another real-world thing that comes with becoming professionals or pseudo-professionals at a minimum.
I mean, he's correct, but think about the NFL.
But they have a CBA.
That's the point, exactly. So they have there are rules in place for that. Different here. There's no rules.
Bob says is Dabo Swinney not opening himself possibly for a slander and libel suit? No, no, because I would assume. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I think that would allow for discovery to happen.
Yeah,
and if you're saying that he's lying on behalf of you, well, then you can actually, obtain things that were involved legally, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
Even if Ole Miss did tamper with Luke Ferrelli, they didn't break the law.
Right.
So, I don't know if that's a road you want to go down either.
No. Ole Miss just wants this to go away. They aren't interested in any retribution of any kind. They just want this to stop, which it probably is going to, because as you said, if you can't get the proof to the NCAA, I don't know what you're going to do.
Don't know what you're going to do, but
the NCAA can request Golding's phone, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Ole Miss has learned from years past lessons, and they will probably scrub that phone within an inch of its life, and before they hand it over to the NCAA.
I mean, it wouldn't exist. That would be
phone. What phone?
I don't have one of those.
Yeah.
Somebody says, wish Ole Miss would learn some morals. Yes. Ole Miss, the evil institution. Only them.
You see now. Now you see.
Here's what's funny about that, though.
Yeah. Is it actually funny or is it not funny?
No, this part is funny.
Is it really funny?
If you want to pretend like your program that you're a fan of, I would assume Mississippi State, has morals, and you don't do anything like that. No, God, no. You would never. You would never engage with a player that is currently somewhere else. You would never, ever do that. Maybe you should, and you would have more than 2 conference wins in 3 years.
Hey.
Maybe you should.
Hey. That's not very nice. That wasn't funny at all. You lied.
Somebody says, there are phone records. Scrubbing will not suffice. The NCAA cannot access phone records of a player. They can't do it. They have no subpoena power.
But that's it.
They can FOIA, official university communication after you're allowed to redact anything that you want, basically.
Yeah.
Hugh Freeze just wasn't very good at that, I suppose.
He believed in honesty.
Something like that. Chase says, I love that we pretend Mississippi State football wouldn't have been altered forever if Cam Newton's dad was okay with only getting $180,000.
I mean, never mind that. I just paid $200 at that point. That was a missed opportunity.
Somebody says, Borkey, we are not cheating. If we were, I'd hope we had more than 7 wins in 2 years.
That's a good point.
I mean, hey, you know what? Maybe that's right. Mississippi State's just been so above board that
exactly
that's why there's so many football losses. No, the reality is the system does need to change. It does. It really does. You shouldn't be losing players at the portal deadline that you've already signed. That shouldn't happen. That happened to a lot of school. I mean, how many players hit the portal at the very end of the deadline? That shouldn't happen. It happened to Ole Miss. It happened to Clemson. It's happening at a lot of places, and that shouldn't. This shouldn't be what it is. And I've seen a lot of the moral grandstanding this weekend. And, you would never want your kid to play for this coach or that coach. I understand where you're coming from too. There's too much at stake, though. Maybe that's a bad excuse. I don't know. But when you put as much emphasis on this as you do, you can't then complain when somebody's trying to do whatever it takes to win. Because, people are loving what Dabo's having to say right now, and boy, his fans are totally bought in on his message because there's no games to lose. Go to Baton Rouge and get beat by 5 touchdowns and tell me if Clemson fans are super happy about his stance on the portal. I bet they change their tune when the losses come. Because at the end of the day, it's a wins and losses business, and that's all that matters to any of you, really. Sucks, but it is what it is. We'll be back.
From the SuperTalk Mississippi.
Introducing to you
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back.
It's so cold outside that, like, it's affecting the weather in the studio.
Yeah.
So it's like I turn the heat on and then I'm hot, but then I turn it off and I'm cold. Like, I guess I shouldn't complain considering what a lot of other people are going through. But, like, I feel like I'm going to keep going back and forth here between the thermostat. Like, my dad would be so mortified. Like, quit messing with the thermostat.
A couple more messages on this, then we'll turn the page to winners and losers and other things that we got to get to today. Somebody says Dabo senses he's on the hot seat primarily due to this issue, and this presented a timely opportunity to morally vindicate himself after a 6-6 season. No different than Brian Kelly this time last year. Golding is the Jedi Master of the transfer portal. Well, I don't know if he's a Jedi Master, but they did do a very good job in the transfer portal.
He's like a Jedi apprentice. So he's like, if Kiffin was Qui-Gon Jinn. So, by the way, whoever texted this, you open this door. Just when I start getting nerdy here, you open this door. He's like Qui-Gon Jinn, and then, he would be like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, Obi-Wan Kenobi became a master, but at this stage, we're not quite there yet. Yeah. I don't think we're ready for I don't think I'm ready for Pete Golding to take on his apprentice at this time. So we recognize him on this council, but we do not grant him the rank of master.
And Cece says that's all Dabo's doing. Wag the dog. Look at how how bad these evil coaches are. Don't look at how bad I'm losing now. Look at these evil coaches messing with my players. And yet, look, it's true. Things that he said are absolutely true. There needs to be rules. There needs to be something. Like the system is awful. But, yeah, this does remind me of what Brian Kelly said, what was it, a couple years ago when he was talking about, other schools, they're going to buy their good players and we're going to build it through culture or whatever. And everybody clapped along like, wow, look at Brian Kelly. Yeah, he's going to build culture. He's not going to buy players in the transfer portal while coaching at LSU. But remember, that was like back in April. Yeah. And what we said at the time was, yeah, people love this in April. And then you go lose a game, and they're going to wonder, wait, why didn't you go buy that defensive tackle? Same thing here. Like, there's a lot of truth to what Dabo said about the system and how it needs reform and all that. It's very easy to say this in late January when you can't lose in 8 months. But when you go to Baton Rouge and they beat you down and you lose 5 or 6 games again, all of your fans and everybody's going to say, well, you probably should have done something about that. But, I mean, the grandstanding was great, but if you want to win, maybe you should have done the things that are necessary to win. But, again, it's easy to buy when you don't have a loss coming in 8 months.
Are we saying that Clemson is right for all the wrong reasons here?
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what we're saying. Like, what they are saying is correct. Tampering shouldn't be happening.
Shouldn't be happening.
But this isn't because, somebody was just egregious with what they did. It's that they don't want this to be happening at all. They were trying to shut it down.
I mean, look, if they have proof that the head coach was texting the player and all that's not how I assumed and was told that this was going. I was always thought that it was going through agents and stuff like that to kind of insulate coach from player. But so maybe that's different. And no coach has gone public like this before, so that part of this is definitely different. But, I mean, hey, Dad, you've heard these stories, man. You know how this goes. You know what has been done and said to state players during the season. Mm-hmm. Missouri's starting quarterback entered the portal with a no-contact tag. How did that happen? You think he just loved the journalism school and the columns, whatever they call them in Columbia?
Shakespeare's Pizza. I've heard it's awesome.
I mean, the kid from Florida that's what he wants, Shakespeare's Pizza. And he loved the antlers.
The kid from Florida, yeah. Yeah. Huge Michael Porter Jr. guy.
Exactly. He loves the Cardinals. He's a baseball player. He just wants to be close to the Cardinals.
The Cardinals. Let's not do that. Best fans in baseball, so they say. Yeah.
Somebody says Golding has not denied it. People keep saying that too. The guy that does radio in South Carolina was like, he needs to apologize at once. For what? After today, people aren't going to be talking about this anymore. What's there to? Why would he have a dueling press conference with Dabo Swinney? What do you gain from that? What do you gain from it? And also, I mean, do you think the player hopped back in the portal just because he felt the change of heart without communication? I mean, come on. What do you want them to say? Also, their campus is dealing with an unprecedented ice storm and people don't have power and nobody's able to go to work right now and stuff like that. That's also part of this.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody's going to deny anything. They're going to no comment that thing until they have to. So I'm just, like I said, I think there's going to be an investigation. I think they'll probably end up finding something. I'll say this. I will say this. If Golding was sloppy enough to text this kid directly, he's sloppy enough to have left something where the NCAA could find it. I'll say that. Because texting the kid directly was not a good idea.
That's not a good idea.
So that would worry me a little bit. But again, I think anything that happens will be a one-game suspension at most, and who cares about that?
Yeah. Somebody says, please stop justifying it, call it wrong, and call out Golding and say it's wrong. I mean, it's wrong, but it's necessary. Do you want your team to win or not? If that answer is yes, then this is necessary to get that done. More sports talk after.
York, Mississippi continues.
What's up on Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you by Ag Up. Start the new year with the compact tractor that's a proven performer and get a great deal. You get it all at Ag Up Equipment. Right now you can get 0% financing for 48 months on select John Deere 1 through 4 series compact tractors. You can't beat these workhorses or the 0% financing. Stop by your local Ag Up or visit them at agup.com. Your down-home dealer. Offer ends 1/31/26. That's this Saturday. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. It's Monday. It's 4 o'clock. You know what's up. It's winners and losers.
I don't understand it. I've done everything I can. I've done everything I can. The files in the system are done.
We've got to find a new sounder. We got to do a new one.
But it's not just that one. It's all the ones I try to use.
We're going to have to do them all. We're going to have to take time out of our day and do that. We can do it. We know how to do it. We'll make it happen. What did you like from the weekend? What did you not like? I didn't like not having that sounder. Tell us on the C Spire text line, 601-879-4395. Michael Borkey, give me a winner.
All right, golf. The best player in the world. Just, again, the American Express is not a super compelling tournament. Although the stadium course is visually interesting, but it's a Pro-Am. It's 3 easy courses. Everybody goes low. But those are the kind of tournaments that create the most volatility, where it's just a birdie fest and bad shots don't punish you. Scottie Scheffler just dominates anyway. But here is a contextualization of the kind of run that he is on. He's the first player since Tiger Woods to reach 20 career wins prior to turning 30 years old. It's his 151st start on tour. It's the second fewest starts by a player to reach 20 wins, only behind Tiger Woods. It took him 95 tournaments to get here. And Scotty went 0 for his first 70. 0 for his first 70. So he is on a tear that is rivaled only by Tiger Woods in history. Also, in his last 13 starts, win, tied for 4th, win, tied for 3rd, win, tied for 8th. Oh, terrible tournament there. T6, T7, win, T4, win. He has won 16 times in his last 38 events. He actually switched putters 38 events ago, and it's changed his putting dramatically. He's won 16 of the last 38 events.
You changed your putter?
I've had the same one since high school.
Well, what are we doing with our life, Michael Borkey? Hasn't Scotty shown us the way?
That is 42% win percentage. That is
in golf.
That is Steph Curry's 3-point percentage.
That's pretty good.
He's just been unbelievable at everything, and he's just dominating the sport right now. The most dominant athlete, he and Katie Ledecky, I think, are the most dominant athletes in sports right now.
I'm trying to think who. I mean, Ohtani.
Ohtani probably
up there. Cena retired, so I'm going to go with our guy from Friday's show, Alex Honnold. He made light work of 101 stories. By the way, I went and looked. The Empire State Building is 102. So how tall was that building he climbed? A story less than the Empire State Building, in case you were not getting the idea. And he did it in 95 minutes. I'm pretty sure I couldn't climb 95 flights of stairs. 102 flights of stairs, in 95 minutes. I'm pretty sure about that. He made it look easy. I didn't watch any of it. I just saw some of the clips. I would never do anything like that in my life, but that is an incredibly if you've only got a niche talent, be the absolute best in the world at it. That's what Alex Honnold is. Maybe he's the best athlete in the world. Is this a feat of athleticism? I mean, it is. It's climbing. It takes athleticism to do. I'll go with him.
Did you watch? Because it got delayed because it was raining Friday.
No. People were people were texting me this guy is incredible. He's just going up these flights, he's going up these stories like it's nothing. People were just I can't believe what I'm watching. It's no struggle whatsoever. He's doing an interview with 1 foot balanced on the wall. I'm fine, yeah. Somebody order me a pizza. I'll be down in 30. What are we doing here?
I couldn't bring myself to hit play. I couldn't. I thought about it. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna watch it. Why not? I mean, it's something unique, and he didn't have any safe that there have been those feats of whatever with hidden safety components. Mm-hmm. Guy that walked across or tight-roped across the Grand Canyon had a safety net. Yeah. Stuff like that. People have done these stunts where if they fall, they would have been okay. He didn't have that. The guy's a true psycho. He confirmed if he fell,
he's a crazy person.
That would have been it for him. Yeah. My fear is what's he going to do next? Seriously, what's next?
He's going to go up Everest, just straight up. We're not doing any of this going up the path here. I'm starting at the bottom. I'm just going to climb straight up.
I couldn't do it. I tried. I couldn't.
Well, that's all right. What else you got for a winner?
Tennessee basketball.
I love when there's some social media. Go ahead.
So Tennessee beats Alabama. Alabama playing the G League player, and he was okay. I thought it was wild that the SEC network was promoting him as much as they did. But here's where we are, guys. That's why we have such a callous conversation about the state of sports. It's so messed up and backwards, but look around. It's all messed up and backwards. Same thing here. The SEC network actively promoting a professional basketball player playing for Alabama. But anyway, Alabama lost. And Tennessee shares their "We Won" graphic, and they posted on Twitter at Delaware Bluecoats, who won the G League in 2023, and said, "You're next."
I love that so much.
And, of course, the Bluecoats replied. They were like, wait, us? Hold on. No, not us. We didn't have anything to do with this.
They do the little Sasquatch?
No, they did the 50 Cent, though.
Oh, okay. Me?
That one? Yeah. And even, Duke replied and just said, LOL.
It's great. This is what I want from my social media. When you do something, I mean, this is how it needs to be. This is what these accounts need to do. I understand their primary job is to promote their university and that. But when you have a chance for pettiness, take it. Don't be afraid. We'll all love you more for it.
Yes. So yeah, that's my second winner.
For me, goodness gracious, this is that time of year, right, where there's just not as much to go with. in the world of sports. That's why I kind of went outside there with our guy Alex Honnold. I don't really have another one, so let's go. We'll just go to a loser. You got one of those?
Yeah, anybody that thinks that we should have exclusively domed that was a popular take this weekend, that we should have domed stadiums, that weather shouldn't impact games and stuff. The visuals in Denver were awesome, and the better team won the game anyway. Now, if Bo Nix did not get hurt, I think the Broncos would have won that game with Bo Nix instead of Jarrett Stidham. But yesterday, the Patriots were the better team. They were better, and they won the game. And the first quarter transitioning to the fourth quarter and like the scale of the weather change was so cool.
It was great. Fantastic.
Like, I've got a 6-year-old and he likes football kind of. I mean, he likes when the Saints score, but otherwise he's like, let me play with my monster trucks, and if something good happens, let me know so I can look up and see it, you know?
Yeah.
Even he was like, whoa, it's snowing. How cool is this? And I loved that visual. I'm sad that it's slowly going away, but losers are the new domes that are popping up all over the country. It's a shame.
Sean Payton has to be a loser. And there was a little bit of that with Sean McVay too, but like, guys, we got to start taking the points, all right? The whole point of the game is to score more than your opponent, right? So when you have an opportunity to get points, especially early in a game, he has to have somebody telling him ahead of time, like, by the way, in the second half, it's going to be really bad weather. Points are going to be at a premium. So whatever you can get in the first half, take it. How do you not kick a field goal there? You got your backup quarterback in. You've got to take that field goal. And I love Sean Payton. I always will. He brought a New Orleans Super Bowl to me. But that was not his finest hour as an NFL head coach. And he may have cost his team. I don't know if in overtime they could have gotten it done. But their defense was playing so well, you got to get points.
But it changes decisions for the rest of the game.
Yeah. And then, of course, Will Lutz, somebody on the C Spire text line, loser Broncos game. Will Lutz, just a rough day. Rough day for a guy who I have seen make a lot of field goals in his career with his time in New Orleans. I mean, just to miss that number of field goals was shocking. So
yeah, he was it was and is a good one, but just wasn't his
losers.
day.
By the way, NFL fans, I thought we were going to go with like a couple decades with no Patriots. This is ridiculous. They had the greatest dynasty of all time, and then they get like a 3-year respite, and now they're right back with another guy who looks like he could be one of the best quarterbacks in the league over the next decade.
The Titans are the worst organization in football.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't mention that. They got lucky that this coach is even available to them. It's just incredible.
Should have never been.
No.
Never.
All right, we'll get some more of your winners and losers. Hit us up on the C Spire text line, 601-879-4395. Back in just a minute.
From the Venable Blast.
From the flatlands of Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Every minute worth waiting for.
Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Borkey and Hadad with you. There is some athletic director news we will get to here in about 15 minutes from right now. And then we'll get to your college football fixture as the portal turns update, talk about the conference championship games yesterday and more. Glad you guys are with us. Somebody says winner Bennett Scheffler. Yeah, Scotty's son that can barely walk, I think has seen 12 wins from his dad.
Insanity.
And I was listening to the No Laying Up podcast, and it's a golf podcast.
I know what it is.
They were talking about how Scotty has gotten better since he's become a dad. That he's made some changes in his swing and stuff, but he's won 12 times since Bennett was born. And then one of the guys goes, and his wife, on the green after the win, she looked really pregnant, so apparently he's going to just double his superpower. And all the guys went, whoa, wait a minute. We don't know that she's pregnant. What are you doing? She is clearly very, very pregnant, but they were messing with him because he could have called her fat without knowing.
Gotta be careful when you do stuff like that. You gotta be careful.
She's very clearly pregnant. They just have not publicly said it,
right.
Which is none of our business, I suppose. But when you have a beach ball, attached to you, it's kind of hard not to notice that kind of thing.
It is. It can be. So,
let's see. Winner Sam Darnold going from the Jets and Panthers to possibly winning a Super Bowl. Loser, Pro Bowl means nothing now. Yeah, Shedeur Sanders is going to be a Pro Bowler.
This is just one of the silliest things I've ever heard. This guy was how many? I wonder what number is greater: teams that turn down bowls so that State could go to the Duke's Mayo Bowl, or quarterbacks who turned down the Pro Bowl so that Shedeur Sanders could go to that. I think it's the quarterbacks, because you had to get through. You had to get through every other quarterback in the league, right? Every other starter in the league had to have said no. Is Tyler Shuck a Pro Bowler?
Nope.
And Shedeur is? Come on, man.
Yep.
Come on.
I don't think Dart is either. Dart had a better rookie season than Shedeur. They both had a better
year. Yeah, that's crazy.
The Pro Bowl was already a dying event. I mean, of all the things in football where ratings are just skyrocketing, the Pro Bowl has been just getting...
That's not the one, yeah.
And so it's already kind of an irrelevant event, but that just renders it completely just meaningless.
Stop doing it. So.
Also, loser Diego Pavia. Do you see what he measured in at the Senior Bowl?
5'9" and 3/8 or something like that.
7'8", so he's almost 5'10".
I'm a little taller than Diego Pavia, just a smidge.
He's got 5'9" now officially listed on his.
Somebody on Twitter was like, "Why do you think this guy just?" I think it was former Saints linebacker Scott Shanley, who I follow on Twitter. He was like, "Why do you think this guy wanted to keep playing college football? Like, he got no chance."
Once that 5'9" hit, it's like it's game over.
That's it. Yeah,
he shrunk 3 inches in college. By the way,
shout out to our short king though. Yeah. Loser Broncos kicker. Josh from Hurley, if Drake May wins the Super Bowl, Carolina will be the 6th university to have a Super Bowl winning quarterback and a U.S. president. Name the other 5. So I've been thinking about this during the break. The only one I can come up with off the top of my head is Michigan. I know Michigan is one. But I'm trying to think, Harvard doesn't have a starting quarterback that's won a Super Bowl. Or Yale or any of the Ivies, I don't think. Oklahoma doesn't have a president. Tennessee doesn't have a president. Wisconsin? Does Wisconsin have a president?
All right, so far you said Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan's
so that's
the one I know.
There's 4 others. I'll try to give you some hints.
Give me a couple hints. Are there any Ivy League schools?
No.
Okay, that helps.
But there is a service academy. That should be pretty easy now for you.
Okay, Navy.
Yeah. Jimmy Carter and Roger
Staubach. Okay, very good.
So that's 2.
Okay. Where did Nixon go to school?
Nixon is not on this list.
Okay, he's not on the list. Gosh, we're gonna have to work. Stanford? Yeah.
That's another one. Hoover.
Herbert Hoover went to Stanford.
And John Elway and
Plunkett. Yeah. The quarterbacks are not my issue here. It's the presidents.
2 more.
Okay, give me a hint on one of them.
They changed their mascot name many years ago. Many years ago. It's not a recent change. It's not a COVID change.
Okay. They were something like the Indians or something like that,
and they've changed their mascot.
Oh gosh. What's the other one? Give me the other clue for the other one.
The other one. This one might be too easy. This might give it away. The other one is a recent elevation to the FBS.
A recent elevation?
Very recent elevation to the FBS.
So James Madison?
It's not James Madison, but
App State? They wouldn't have a president, would they? And if they do, who's their quarterback? Who's the quarterback from App State?
It's not App State.
Okay. Recent. I don't know these last 2.
Okay. I'll try to give you some more hints.
Okay.
One of them is a MAC school. The MAC school.
Miami of Ohio?
Yes.
So Ben Roethlisberger.
So Miami of Ohio.
Who's the president from Miami of Ohio?
Harrison.
Which one?
It just says Harrison. That's all I got for you.
I'm going to assume it's Benjamin. Okay.
Miami of Ohio was the Redskins up until 1997.
Okay. All right.
And then became the Redhawks.
All right. And then there's one more.
There's one more. Their mascot is a bird, and they're the ones that have recently elevated.
Bird.
They're a bird.
Bird. That recently.
This one, I think, will give it away.
Kennesaw State?
No, but that's a good guess. The president is still living.
Okay. So it's not Clinton. Bush went to Yale. It's not Trump, obviously. It's not Obama. I don't even know where Obama went to college.
There's only one president left.
Who's left in that group?
Joe Biden, Delaware.
Blue Hens.
The Blue Hens of Delaware.
Oh, man, I never would have gotten Delaware.
And okay. Joe Flacco is the quarterback.
Elite.
Joe Flacco is the
quarterback. There we go. There we go. All right, then.
Yeah, pretty good stuff there. Ryan Fitzpatrick actually quoted that and said, "This one's on me, Harvard, sorry."
That's funny. I thought about Fitzpatrick. I was like, he didn't win a Super Bowl. So.
Loser, anyone that contributed to State's basketball NIL fund for this year.
You got some guys stealing money from Mississippi State right now.
That's a larger conversation to be had at a later date. But, yeah, I mean, you with the basketball programs there's that impasse where, okay, you didn't get an ROI. Like Ole Miss football boosters are getting ROI. Like they're pumped up, right? They're happy. All my money's going to a great place.
Right.
But like a state basketball booster that gave a lot of money to the basketball team. You've made the tournament 3 years in a row, so you're getting your ROI. But are you going to keep going after a season that you've had? Same thing with Ole Miss, obviously. Are you going to keep going? We're about to find out. Let's see. Oh, a lot of people guessing, by the way.
Yeah.
Kind of derailed that.
Yeah, it's all right.
But
that's all right.
But, yeah, there you go.
What is this Mississippi congressman that wants to consolidate some of the junior colleges? Is that a thing? That was like a terrible idea.
I saw the headline. Hey, Dad, I'll be honest with you.
Didn't go too deep into it?
Yeah, I didn't. If you or and me had to do the morning show, then we probably would be talking about this pretty extensively. But we keep our area of expertise to sports,
to as little as possible, because we don't have much expertise.
Did you see the video of Shaun White, Olympic, greatest snowboarder of all time, Shaun White in Central Park yesterday?
Was he snowboarding?
He was snowboarding in Central Park, and they built a ramp, and he jumped over Shane Gillis, just as an impromptu, like Shaun White's hanging out in Central Park, and Gillis was there, and so they built a ramp, and he jumped over him on his snowboard.
It's like when Cartman jumped over the homeless. I can jump over so many homeless guys.
Oh, man. Winter Olympics coming up. I mean, the political climate in this country has allowed our Olympic discourse to get ruined by, how could you be proud of America right now? I can't wait. I love the Olympics in particular. I love the Winter Olympics, though, man. The hockey's a lot of fun. I get super into the ski jumping, which I don't like. How do you make yourself go further than the other guy? I feel like there's a finite amount of distance you can actually get at some point, but the bobsledding's fun. My sister actually knows a guy that was an Olympic bobsledder.
Bobsled, luge, and skeleton. Just death-defying feats.
Yeah.
There. I do enjoy those.
And the curling. Oh, my gosh.
Curling. I like speed skating.
Speed skating is fun.
Big fan of that. It's all good stuff.
Yeah, so I'm actually looking forward to that. I keep getting USA hockey jerseys in the ads in my algorithm, and man, do I want to buy one so bad, but also I don't want to take out a second mortgage on my home.
Yeah.
So I will be without – I've already got a Mike Eruzione jersey that I'll pull out on game day, but I can't get a modern one. Because, hey, Dad, I don't have $350 to spend on a jersey.
It's a lot. That's a lot.
All right, AD news. When we come back, it's something that is actually, I don't know, a fear or worry or whatever, but it's been a thing for a long time, featuring one of the athletic directors in the state of Mississippi, and fan base worry no more. We'll give you the details when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi. This has been Winners and Losers. Stick with us.
From the Seabrook.FM. Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
When Zach Selmon was hired at Mississippi State, I remember the conversation we had on this show about it. Very specifically, actually. Has a great reputation, known as a good fundraiser, has worked under one of the best athletic directors in the game at Oklahoma. Truly one of the best. And it was, hey, outside hire, good for Mississippi State. He's going to do really well while he's there. But the concern is, with hiring him, is when Oklahoma's athletic director retires, he'll be on the very short list to replace him. That was the downside, is you might not have him for very long because there's been talk that Oklahoma's AD is going to retire and he'll be on the list to replace him. I have no doubt that Oklahoma, talked to their former associate assistant AD, whatever his title was there. Mm-hmm. But Mississippi State is getting to keep their athletic director. Oklahoma has made a hire, and it is not him. Illinois associate AD Roger Denny is who's going to assume that role at Oklahoma. So the one downside to the Selmon hire never actually came to fruition. So that's a good thing.
That's a good thing for Mississippi State, that an athletic department that is in dire need of some continuity and stability from what it's been the past few years. And I've talked about this before with Selmon, that he puts together this master plan. The last thing you really want is for him to leave after 6 months after that or a year after that, and then the new AD comes in and goes, well, I might want to make a few changes. Now you want to keep moving forward with Zach Selmon. And Mississippi State athletics right now, when you look at football, obviously that's I call that the window that everybody looks through the house in, right? Like, the house inside can be awesome, but if the window's dirty, that's all people see. Right now the window's a little dirty, and they got to keep working on that. But, everybody's excited for baseball. Men's and women's basketball both have made the tournament, 5 times total in the last 6 years. One time the last 3 years. The women missed it once under Purcell. This will be his first year to miss it. The women still have a good chance to get in. Baseball, we all know what happened there. Fundraising is at all-time highs. There's a lot of good construction happening, a lot of good facilities improvements. So Mississippi State, I feel like it's moving in the right direction. It's been slower than a lot of Bulldog fans would want. I understand that. But I also recognize that when Zach Selmon took over, what kind of hole he was in from the previous administration. I think he's done a good job of digging them out. I think I've said from day one, when Cohen left, I said, look, you got to hire an outsider. You got to hire a guy who isn't beholden to the old ways of Mississippi State, a guy who will come in and have his own ideas about the way to do things. And that's exactly what he's done. He's rubbed some people in the wrong way. I know that for a fact. But I think that the things he has done, by and large, have worked for Mississippi State. So Robbie and I did a podcast about this back, I think about a month ago, where basically we had learned that he was not going to be taking that job, that he was going to be staying at Mississippi State. And so now, it becomes, that was the job that we kind of circled, right, was the Oklahoma job. So now it's a question of, what job would open up that would attract him. I don't know the answer to that. I also don't know that, what jobs are going to be attracted to Zach Selmon until he has a football coach who's winning games. And that's the big thing. You got to be able to hire a football coach that wins games. So until Jeff Levy proves the hire of him correct, I don't know how much interest Zach Selmon really is going to get. So that's good for Mississippi State. They want to keep Zach Selmon. He's doing a good job. So it's good news for State that Oklahoma decided to pass on him.
Isn't that wild, by the way, how much is dependent on getting a football coach hire right? Even if
it's everything.
It's everything. That's why we had the callousness of the conversation we were having earlier with people that, I mean, again, I understand. I truly do the morality conversation around college football. Mm-hmm. It would be great, truly great, if everybody operated that way. But when the entire livelihood of the institution is riding on the success of football, you can see why people are more willing to bend the rules, right? And as an AD, you can do a heck of a job. You can fundraise like a champion, and you can have so many sports doing well and great facility projects and all that stuff. But, man, if that football coach you hired does not win and win big, you are a bum.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters if you don't hire the good football coach. It's crazy.
It absolutely is. So, Levy and Selmon are tied together in that way, right?
Yeah.
Selmon's success, Levy's success. And when we say it all the time, like, what happened with Scott Strickland recently, getting to hire a third football coach? Very rare. Very, very rare.
If he had a university president, he would have been able to.
There are some extenuating circumstances to that as well. So, if Levy doesn't work out, Selmon will get another chance. But after that, you got to nail that second one for sure. I know, Mississippi State right now they believe in Jeff Lebby. They've bought it in Jeff Lebby. I think the way Lebby has recruited the portal kind of shows that there's some internal confidence in him. And I've said it so many times before. From 1,000 feet up, State went from 2 wins to 5 wins. If you don't know anything else about Mississippi State, you can just say, okay, wait. In year 1, they got blown out by everybody they played, and they went 2-10. In year 2, they were 5-7. They had a fourth quarter lead on Tennessee. They had a fourth quarter lead on Texas. They had the ball with a chance to kick a field goal to win against Florida. They obviously were better, right? Now, if you're me and you watched every snap, and I could dissect that a little bit, right? But outsiders are going to look at Mississippi State and go, they're going in the right direction. I bet if they take they'll take another step forward this year. They'll be an 8-win team. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but Lebby and Selmon, they are tied together for sure. So, like I said, in my dealings with Zach, he's been great, very professional. I enjoy talking to him. I think he's done a good job for Mississippi State. He's certainly done a great job on the fundraiser. He came in with the reputation of being an outstanding fundraiser. Well, last year it was $87 million he was able to raise. This year, I don't know how you top that, but he's certainly trying to do that. So raising money is something Mississippi State had to have, and he's done a great job at that. I feel by and large he's got Mississippi State in a good place.
And will continue that job moving forward. So good news there.
Yeah. Three solid ADs here in the state of Mississippi for the Big
Truly.
Three. Carter, I think Carter might be the most popular athletic director in the country right now, or at least one of them. I mean, we were there in Oxford. How often do you hear an athletic director getting his name chanted?
Doesn't happen, yeah.
Doesn't happen very often, but they loved him up there. I think.
Yeah, his Q rating with his
own fan base
people
is high.
Who could have a higher one?
Whoever the athletic director is in Indiana.
Yeah, whoever hired Cignetti.
I don't know who that is, but people like that, by and large. But yeah, he's there. State fans, I think, by and large, very happy with Selmon. I think Southern Mississippi fans, by and large, and I keep saying by and large, are happy with Jeremy McClain.
Mm-hmm.
Huff was a great hire for them. They kept the continuity in the baseball program. We'll see what happens with Blake Anderson, but he's been a winner before.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be surprised if he's not at Southern Mississippi. So I think everybody
and that basketball thing is not his
That's not on
fault
Jeremy McClain. That's not even on Jay Ladner.
No.
Yeah.
And I read some commentary about that, and it's unfortunate how true this is, because one of my neighbors walks his dog around the neighborhood. I say neighbor. He's like 10 streets over, but I see him all the time, and he knows what I do, so he stopped and asked me. He's like, well, if it's happening at this level, then clearly these big schools have players fixing games too. And I said, well, honestly, probably not. I mean, I'm sure there are some, because there's some everywhere. They got NBA players to do it, but the reason that they went to players at schools like this was because those guys don't have big, fat NIL deals. They don't have any money. So $30,000 to, hey, lose by more than 3 in the first half. Here's $30,000 is really enticing for a player at the Sun Belt level, at the Patriot League level, or whatever it is. It'd be harder to get a millionaire on an SEC school to fix a game, considering what they're getting. So yeah. It's just an unfortunate dynamic of the system that's been created. And, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. That's why I said I hated it for Southern Miss at the time, because there's nothing they could have done. It's unavoidable, completely unavoidable. And yet they had to deal with it.
And they will continue to do so until all this goes away. But from an athletic director standpoint, I feel like all 3 programs in this state, all 3 of the big 3 programs in this state, are under very capable and good leadership and should continue to thrive going forward. Especially, the next few months would be great for all of them. Everybody's happy during baseball season for the most part in this state. I think this year especially. You've got 3 really good teams. All 3 of them should be competing for postseason. Not just postseason play, but hosting regionals and going deep into the postseason.
Speaking of that, the futures, the Omaha futures, listeners sent them to us. We'll go through them. There's some good value here if you feel like placing some action. Maybe do that at Pearl River Resort Sportsbook at Timeout Lounge. It's a little cool right now, but it'll soon be spring. And if you're a golfer, go play at Dancing Rabbit. But if you're not, there's still plenty to do for a in-state staycation. Do it at the Pearl River Resort. Check them out, pearlriverresort.com. We'll look at some odds, Omaha odds, when we come back.
From the Venable Blast.
They're rolling.
You're hearing Sports Talk Mississippi.
What? This is so awesome.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
This was sent to us earlier. Odds to make the College World Series, a future, if you will. The odds-on favorite. Well, that's not really true because there's 8 of them. The team that is most likely, according to the odds, to make the College World Series, the LSU Tigers at plus 105. I don't care if you think that they're the best team on planet Earth. There is no value in that bet whatsoever.
No, you're betting almost dollar for dollar there. So chances are they're going to make it. So you probably aren't going to lose, but you're not a lot of winnings there either.
Yeah. Arkansas actually second most likely to make the College World Series at plus 140.
What helps them so much is they're going to be a really high national seed because their schedule is, by SEC standards, pretty weak. So they could end up being the number 1 overall seed just because they win the SEC with like 6 or 7 losses.
Yeah, very, very easy schedule. For, like you said, per league standards, 99.9% of college baseball would be miserable playing the slate that Arkansas is, but not in this league. Georgia, plus 165.
That's a little surprising to see them up that high. I won't lie to you.
I am surprised to see that, too. UCLA and Texas at plus 175.
That's fine. Defending SEC champion and the preseason, what appears to be the consensus number 1 team.
Mm-hmm. Tennessee plus 180.
That's not a good value.
Not a good value.
New coach, that feels like a stretch.
Mississippi State, so projected to make the College World Series, 7th in odds at plus 260. There is your value. Double your money there. Plus. Yeah.
You're going to make double your money, like you said, plus. So that's a really good one. Well, let's just go down the list a little bit here. Ole Miss, we mentioned plus 450.
Well, Vanderbilt plus 280, sticking with the SEC. Okay. Auburn plus 350.
And then, I said A&M plus 425, Ole Miss plus 450. After what happened with A&M last year, I have no faith in that group. We'll see what happens.
There's good value in that Ole Miss one. You've got a great frontline pitcher in Hunter Elliott. You got a team that you think can mash the baseball with all those returning guys that hit 1 billion home runs.
It's worth a bet. Yeah,
it Alabama is most certainly Florida, worth a bet.
Both plus 450. Oklahoma and Kentucky both plus 650. Southern Mississippi plus 950. South Carolina plus
drop $10 on Southern Miss, and buddy, you feel amazing.
I'd put money on them. South Carolina plus 1,100. That's the end of the SEC ones. Jeez. I'm going to give you one, just a random one. Penn State at plus 3,000. Did I see this one right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are they? Yeah. I talked to Jacob Rudner about this. I forget the guy's name, but they have a player who is supposed to be he's a Japanese player who came in, who is, from all accounts, possibly one of the top prospects in all of college baseball. He chose Penn State because they have apparently he has a friend there who's on the wrestling team, And
Janai Soto?
I believe
that's
correct, yeah. They say, like, this is a guy who could be a top 10 pick. And, in the Big Ten, never know what's going to happen there. I mean, all the good schools are on the West Coast, right? UCLA, Oregon. Just put $10 on Penn State. Just see what happens. But they got this one guy. Maybe he's enough. I don't know.
He's 5'11". Mm-hmm. Had a 2.22 ERA at Sendai University and had 11 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Yeah.
Can throw it into the triple digits.
Yeah.
And apparently has a splitter that is just outstanding.
That's also in the 90s. So, yeah, just I'm just saying, keep an eye on that guy. I thought it was interesting that he went to Penn State. Not interested in NIL, apparently. You can't convince me there's any – you will not be convinced me there's any baseball NIL at Penn State. That's a guy who could have gone to LSU, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and made money. But he had a relationship there at Penn State and went from that.
If you had to guess the number of seats in Penn State's baseball stadium, what would your guess be?
Less than 2,000.
This is going to blow your mind. 5,500 actual seats.
I would love to know the actual attendance. Like, what's their record crowd?
Oh, I'm sure there's very little. They, I believe there's a minor league team that also plays there. And that's why that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the State College Spikes.
Okay. That makes more sense.
So that's why they have it's a very minor league stadium. Like, it looks just like every minor league stadium you've ever been to in your life.
Yeah, very, very.
But that's why they have 5,500 seats, is because they have a minor league team there.
Yeah.
Which, that's odd. Small college town, you play baseball and you have a minor league team, and you're. I mean, I guess Oregon does the same thing, don't they?
Yeah, but is there a Eugene?
I think that doesn't Oregon share their ballpark with a minor league team? I know the Citadel does, but that's different.
They have the Emeralds, yeah. Do they play at the same place? Hold on.
I think they do. I could be wrong.
It is, yeah. It's the same place, yeah.
But that's very much Oregon Stadium, though, if you look at it.
Yeah, it is. So I don't know.
There you go. Futures for college baseball. Speaking of future, how about some players for the future? Nailed it. We'll give your portal update when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi. Don't go anywhere.
Come on. Are we going to do this?
Back to Sports Talk Mississippi.
Keep rolling. 3, 2, 1.
Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi, Hour 3 on this Monday. So glad that you guys are with us. Hopefully you're out there staying safe. I know that conditions are getting worse. Help on the way to those of you in need. I saw the sheer volume of line workers and people like that are headed your direction is significant. And they're working in the freezing cold around the clock. Neighbor down the street is a line worker, and he and his truck have not been home all weekend. I drove by his house on the way out. He's not there. He's been working the whole time because that's what people like him do. And so you guys are getting help, I promise, even though it feels pretty frustrating, if not worse, at the moment. But we're thinking about you, and if you are here, we are glad that you are here. You know what time it is. It's the College Football Fix, and maybe one of the last as the portal turns updates, but here we are.
The College Football Fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford tough. The best-selling truck in America is. It's the Ford F-150. A half century of dominance atop the charts. Your program wishes it could have that kind of ranking year after year. Don't mess around. If you're looking for a new truck, there's only one place to go, your Mississippi Ford dealer. Thank you for your attention to this match.
All right, so the portal is winding down some. There's just not that many players available for any school to get let alone yours. Ole Miss did get one. Hadad, did Mississippi State make any moves this weekend? I know offensive line is still a conversation that people are wanting to have.
Yeah, no moves made. Obviously, Friday night, the decision came down from Jordan Seaton. He is going to attend Louisiana State University. That was a recruitment that early on I thought would go Miami's way. I thought when they signed that kid the other day from Georgia that was a telltale sign that they felt like they were out of it. Mississippi State, I never really thought they had much of a chance, and so they moved forward. State, according to sources, they're still talking about getting some more players in, but nobody's visiting. I think State's done. Which I don't necessarily agree with. You had a lot of holes. You came into this portal class knowing you needed to get a proven left tackle and a proven pass rusher, and you didn't get either one of those two things. So while they got some good pieces, while the roster is improved, and this was the focus of today's Thunder and Lightning podcast, the roster is improved. But is it good enough to win in the SEC? I don't know the answer to that question as we sit here right now. My initial thought is they're going to struggle again. So they're better. But are they good enough? That's the real question.
Man, that Seaton deal is crazy. I had somebody that would know. I can't use the phrase that I texted Hadad, but I had somebody that would know that is very involved in these kind of things tell me that the number that he's receiving from LSU would shock you. I put it a little bit more colorful than that to Hadad. But, yeah, it's staggering what LSU is spending on this team. Lane Kiffin better not only make the playoff, but win games in the playoff with what they are spending on their roster. It is by far the most expensive roster ever assembled. By far. And that part of that is a product of you're having to spend more than you did last year and the year before and the year before and the year before. But it is a staggering amount of money that they are spending on this roster. And kudos to them. It's the game, right? It's the game. You got to play it. But, boy, there will be some discussions there if they don't win at the highest level right away. Yeah. There's no rebuilding year. There's no grace period. Not with what they spent.
We say that. But look at, Ole Miss 2 years ago, right? We know what they spent, and that was a record amount of money for them. They didn't make the playoff. I agree with you, and I think the expectations are going to be higher at LSU than they would be at Ole Miss. But it is still year one. So yeah. There'll be some. It's LSU, right? Every year you're under pressure. And somebody tweeted at me today, and this is a really good point. Like, it should be like this every year. It's just like every year there shouldn't be a last year. Like every year is itself. Yeah, Cignetti's not getting fired if they go 8-4 next year, but you got to ask questions, right? Like, what happened? So. For Kiffin, LSU, whenever you're the head coach at LSU, there's pressure every year. They expect to win the national title, not compete for the playoff, not be a top 10 team. They expect to win the national title. Yeah. And that's a different kind of pressure, so we're going to be seeing if he's up to it.
Ole Miss did add one. We've talked about their portal class. It's a good one. It's a really good one. We talked about roster retention. They did a really good job there, but there was one position that I kept talking about where they had a desperate need for just a body, let alone a good player. They just needed people in that room that played offensive tackle. They've addressed needs at every other position except for offensive tackle adequately anyway until this weekend. You've got Terez Davis returning. You've got Kern from LSU already in the boat. You've got the big British tackle from Florida already in the boat, but he has not played yet in the SEC. They needed at least one more. If there's another one out there, I'd try to go get another one too. And maybe they might shuffle some guys around because the interior, they have depth. From guard, center, guard, they're returning all three starters and have depth. But at tackle, there's a lot of questions there. They added one. Tommy Kinsler. He comes to Ole Miss from Miami and was not a starter at Miami. Did play in the national championship game, but is not and was not a starter at Miami. Now, both of Miami's tackles are going to be drafted, and so you understand why he wasn't. But that tackle position is one that we need to spend all offseason making reference to because this Ole Miss roster is a good one. Again, player retention, really good. Quarterback, really good. Blah, 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 all that stuff that you guys already know. But they are replacing 2 tackles that were veterans. Jaden Williams apparently is shining at the Shrine game practices right now. And Diego Pounds didn't give up a sack in 15 games. So that's what you're replacing, and you don't have experience, a lot of experience replacing them. I know Kern started at LSU, and Davis started briefly at Maryland. So, but you get my point. Mm-hmm. It's not the same. And so of these 4 guys, they need at least 2 of them to hit. And frankly, you need really 3 of them to be capable of playing, because you know how important the tackle position is, and you know now what they are replacing. So good on him. Apparently a really talented kid. He was going to start he was slated to start for Miami this year. Mm-hmm. But you had to go get one. In an interview, they said that right tackle is where they expect him to be on this year's team. We'll see. They needed one. They went and got one. But the experience level at this position in 26 versus 25 is a pretty significant difference. So they need these guys to translate and be as good as what their talent profile says they can be. But they need them to be that, and they need them to be that, fast. They have Louisville in week 1 and LSU in week 3. So they need these guys to be ready and be ready fast. Luckily, they have a full offseason to get ready, but still. Yeah. They needed one, and they got one, though.
Fascinated by both these teams, State and Ole Miss, on the offensive line. Just questions. Now, Ole Miss has got they've got a little bit more. They've got a lot more, I should say. Proven guys coming back. But for State, they're going to have probably four new starters, and maybe if you want to count Steen as a new starter, you can. Chances are he's going to be starting. Now, I think they're going to move him inside. But he could also be back out there at right tackle. But he only played a half of a seat, one game last season. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, still a new starter. And that's going to be really tough. Going to be really tough. You're breaking in a new quarterback, new offensive line, in a year that feels like it should be must-win for Jeff Lebby.
It is.
But, you say that, but the way they recruited the portal and going out and getting these young offensive linemen, I don't know if that's the case or not.
How many not young offensive linemen were available in the portal, though? Besides Seton, and they made a big run at him, but how many guys that were not like them were available?
I mean, they focused on these guys. They got four guys who were true freshmen last year. Three of them were from Mississippi. One was the guy Mississippi State recruited out of high school from Louisiana.
Yeah.
They could have. There were veteran guys to go get, and they didn't push for them.
Larry says, you were talking the same old line last year. Yes, and they performed well. But if you can look at their tackle room right now and think that it's not fair to wonder, hey, those guys got to be good, and there's not assurances that they will be right now, you're just wearing red and blue glasses. Again, on the offensive line, they were great by the end of this season. They were. I mean, truly. And returning three of them is a big help. But if you don't think it's fair to point out that the tackle room has some questions going into the season, you don't want honest commentary. You just want somebody to tell you that this guy that didn't start is going to come in and start and be a superstar right away. He could be that. He's talented, very talented. But if you don't think you should ask those questions, I can't help you. It's your college football fix, driven by Ford. We'll be back.
From the Venable.
Come on, SuperTalk Mississippi.
Check this out. Are you ready?
Yeah. Sports Talk Mississippi.
During the break, I just saw a video of an exploding tree. That is a wild phenomenon that I can't fully wrap my head around.
Yeah. When my kids was asking me about it, I was like, what's making them explode? I was like, cold? I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Maybe that there's the water, the moisture within the tree expands, and that's just my guess. not a smart guy. Somebody says, I realize this isn't sports related, but is there any word on the damage level to the trees in the grove? There's a lot of pictures. I have not seen a picture of a full tree down, like a complete grove tree down, but there is a lot. At a minimum, there is a metric ton of down limbs and stuff like that. A lot of the trees around campus are destroyed. And again, it didn't get above freezing today, so they have to endure for another while before the melt starts tomorrow. So, there's a lot of damage, though. But, again, it's anecdotal. I have not seen a photo yet of a full grove tree down. But the damage is going to be pretty extensive. The people in the tree business, because they're going to have to replace a lot of the big trees on campus, they're going to do all right over the next few weeks, I think, because there's a lot of big, beautiful, important trees on that campus that are now gone that are going to get replaced. And, that'll happen in short order. Like when that tree fell in Augusta.
Yeah.
It's like just got replaced, just right away.
Yeah.
You'll have something similar here, I guess.
So, friend of the show, Ross Dellinger, just tweeted, counsel for Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss made another filing today in his lawsuit against the NCAA. A memorandum in support of a motion for preliminary injunction. Attorneys described the NCAA waiver process as a, quote, farce that is, quote, intentionally designed to be unfair. The latest filing highlights a change the NCAA made in 2024 to its waiver standards, adopting a more presumptive denial policy. It made no difference what evidence Ole Miss submitted to the NCAA because the outcome of the waiver was predetermined to be unfavorable to Trinidad. It's like the Rainmaker. It's like just deny the claim.
I wonder if that means that they know the answer to the higher-up appeals committee.
So you think they've already gotten another no?
Would they do that without knowing the answer? Would they? With that language, would they file with that language without knowing the answer?
Again, if you're a lawyer and you're listening, 601-879-4395, the C Spire text line, that does feel like pretty harsh language, right? To call something to say it's a farce like that.
Yeah, if you're still awaiting an answer from that process.
On what I'm assuming you're saying. Are you saying that Ole Miss has learned that the latest waiver has been denied? Is that what I'm not saying you're reporting that, by the way. I'm saying you're speculating that.
I'm speculating. Ross just now followed it up with the NCAA committee charged with reviewing eligibility appeals met twice last week and did not reach a resolution on Chambliss's waiver appeal. The committee requested more information from Ferris State. The committee is expected to meet again this week. Just thinking out loud, I don't know if you want to call that committee a farce and a predetermined outcome and those things if you're still awaiting for them to give you an outcome, right?
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense to me just on the surface, unless you already know what their answer is going to be.
Yeah.
Now, that's what I don't know, but that's what that strikes me as. They'll get it in court. My goodness, the Alabama basketball player just got another injunction today.
He did. He's eligible. Basically, as Bunky Perkins put it, it's another 10-day contract. That's what he just got. The NBA they have 10-day contracts. He's good to play these two games.
I don't know. I'm interested to see. We're obviously interested to see how that plays out for a lot of reasons, but I am curious if that was done in response to, or they're just going ahead and doing that, even though the decision is still yet to be made. I don't know that answer.
I just find it hard to believe he's not going to win that appeal eventually. I just don't see how in this day and age of college football where they're allowing guys to play for so long, got guys playing their 8th year of college football. And look, I'm sure you can say, well, he had this, that, and the other. I can nitpick my way to I could probably get Johnny Manziel back into school if I tried hard enough. But it just seems, I just find it hard to believe. I don't understand why. What I would say is this. I don't understand why the NCAA is fighting so hard here. Unless they feel that a yes would open a floodgate, a Pandora's box of some kind.
They'd be afraid of precedent setting.
I think the NCAA at some point, and I've talked about this before, they've got to come out and say, look, these are the rules going forward. What happened in the past is past. We can't do anything about it. We're not liable for it. What happened in the past, if you're out of eligibility, you're out of eligibility. But going forward, these are the rules. And I don't know if legally you can do that or not, but that's where they need to go. They need to just come out and say, as of January 27th, 2026, these are the rules for eligibility. If you played before this, we're sorry. Sorry we screwed you over. It happens. That's life. Get a helmet.
Well, they have those already.
I'm just saying.
There's probably a lawyer listening saying, hey, that's a great idea, but that doesn't work legally. Here's why.
Yeah, well.
Because, that is what lawyers, that's just what they do. I mean, I'm with you. I don't. This case, I think, is far less precedent-setting for the future of college sports than the Alabama basketball player, though. That's
something they really have to address. They've really got to.
They have to win.
You got to win that one. Otherwise, it's just going to be, I mean, right. Let me ask you this. Let's just play there's no way this would ever happen kind of game, but let's say LeBron retires at the end of the year. Well, what's stopping Ohio State from saying, hey, because even at 42, 43 years old, LeBron James would dominate college basketball.
Yes, without a doubt.
What's to stop him from saying, hey, well, you can make an extra, quick, whatever, play a year with us here? What's to stop that at that point? I don't know the answer.
I mean,
I would also love to see LeBron James play a college basketball game.
That would be hilarious.
It would be.
Actually.
He'd go for like 80, 30, and 15.
I mean, right now, Chris Paul, the former Ole Miss linebacker, is. I mean, I'm trying to find stat. It doesn't look like he plays for Seattle at all.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to let this basketball player play, dude's got another year of eligibility left. He hasn't played in the NFL.
Exactly. That's the Pandora's box you do not want to open. Is to have guys coming back from pros.
You can stomach that a little bit more than this.
It's got to be. Once you leave college, you can't come back. As long if you play consecutive years at any NCAA member institution, you can have eligibility. The second you take a year off to go play in a professional league, literally anywhere on the planet,
done.
You're done. That's got to be the rule. That's the way they got to figure that out.
And we're not lawyers. That strikes me as something that they can actually defend. Maybe not. Maybe they can't. But that strikes me as a defensible position.
It feels like it. I just don't know.
The NFL and Major League Baseball, et cetera, you have to be a certain age to enter our league rules. Mm-hmm. Now, those are collectively bargained, but still, they have those. It's not illegal to say you can't come into my establishment until you're 21 years old.
Yeah. So I don't know. Somebody says LeBron could bring Bronny back to the Buckeyes with him.
They would win every game.
I would just tell you 38-0. Mm-hmm. They would not lose a single game if they had LeBron and Bronny. Even at 42 and LeBron and Bronny being what he is, they would not lose a single game. Not to mention the fact that you would get the 3 best recruits in the country to come play with him.
Yes.
I mean, if Ohio State could legitimately sell, hey, you're going to play with LeBron James for a season, whoever number 1, number 2, number 3 on the on-3 rankings is, they're all committing to Ohio State.
I would actually love to see what a team full of NBA players would do to college basketball.
They would win by like 75 points.
I mean, this dude that can't even crack it in the G League went for, 13-10 or something like that the other night?
Exactly. He's a grown man. My cousin Marty, they have to get rid of European play eligibility for college basketball as well. Okay.
I'm fine with that.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, okay.
I like Sergey, but it's cool.
You were a pro.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Conference championship games happened yesterday. We know who's playing in the Super Bowl. Let's talk about those a little bit when we come back. We're in the Pearl River Resort studio. Stick with us.
From the Seabrook.com.
Let the broadcasting of the disturbed continue.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Borkey, we've got to stop doing this thing. We got to stop doing this thing where we try to take the plot of movies and make them real. Like we're doing all this stuff with robotics, and then we're going to end up with the Terminator.
Oh, and now that we're also doing Jurassic Park level, bringing animals back.
Well, we got another one here. A neurotechnology breakthrough may have just turned science fiction into reality. A Silicon Valley startup called RemSpace claims to have achieved the first successful communication between two people during a lucid dream. An unprecedented step in the study of consciousness and sleep. We're creating Inception. We got to go deeper, Borkey. 3 layers.
All right, now I'm seeing this now. Hold on a second.
A dream within a dream.
So they had 2 people sleeping separately.
Yeah, but they connected their brains basically, and so they shared the dream, and they were able to communicate with each other. It's Inception. Have you seen
I hate this so much.
Have you seen that movie?
No, I have not.
Oh,
actually.
Okay. So you're not getting my references here.
I know what Inception is, though.
I'm just saying, though.
Because I watched the South Park episode.
You'll be the.
I can
be the architect. I'm a butterfly. Yes, that's a great episode of South Park.
But my question.
Why?
Why?
Somebody in the reply is going to be in sleep when your brain is supposed to rest, and now we're making it work.
I mean, I guess the study of consciousness is important, so maybe
I don't want anybody in my dreams.
No.
I have weird dreams.
Oh, and then maybe you can prove the afterlife. You know what? I'll prove it? It's after my life. I don't need to know ahead of time.
I'm good. Yeah. You don't want to prove the afterlife and then find out there's not one because we're going to have some issues on this planet. People are going to be like, "Oh, wait a minute, there's no eternal reward." All right. Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
I don't know the answer to your question. I don't know. Other than we're going to steal somebody's tech secrets and sell them to COBOL Engineering.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I listened to that episode of Joe Rogan where he had the guy that was like the head and the spokesman of the company that's bringing back extinct animals. They brought back the dire wolf, for example.
Which I'm still mad about that they named it Khaleesi.
I know.
Still makes me mad.
She didn't have one.
There's a whole family that had that as their sigil.
And not her.
Not her family. Bring back a dragon. Or bring forth a dragon. There is no dragons.
And they've started talking about woolly mammoth and then the Tasmanian tiger. What, thylacine, isn't that what it's called? Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
That went extinct. And they have investors and stuff like that. You know what they're going to ask for.
Yeah.
You think they're going to stop it? Oh, wow, congratulations, guys. You brought back the Tasmanian tiger. That's great.
Bring back
You're
George
done.
Washington.
Yeah. Your investors, your secret billionaires that are funding this project are going to say, yeah, go ahead and stop at the wolf, guys. Yeah, no, You know what they're going to ask for next. Give me a velociraptor. And then when they realize that velociraptors are much smaller in reality than the movie depicted.
They're going to ask to bring back people. Like real people.
Yeah. Like, you know where his grave is.
Yeah. Like, give me the Shroud of Turin, and let's get him back out here. Get him back in the game.
I mean,
I don't know.
What are we doing? They're eventually gonna ask for a T-Rex.
Y'all are my favorite man-child. I had the exact same South Park reference. I'm a butterfly, Stan. Look at me. That's a great episode.
It really is. Man.
I have there's a sounder that has that. It's just like the Inception noise, that
Yeah, see, I've heard that. Have not
you
actually
need to watch
seen the
Inception.
movie.
That's a really good movie. You'll enjoy it.
One of those thinking movies?
Somewhat, yeah, but it's good enough. There's enough action and stuff. There's some comedy.
Did you see what Matt Damon said about making movies for Netflix?
No.
So Matt Damon and, who's the one with the big tattoo on his back?
Batista.
No, the guy that he does all the movies with. Help me. Married J-Lo. Ben Affleck. Yeah, he's got a huge tattoo.
I did
not
know Ben Affleck had a giant back tat.
Google it.
I will.
It'll blow your mind.
Is it like A.J. McCarron's chest?
It's worse, actually. It's so much worse. It's a very colorful phoenix.
Ah!
Look at that thing.
What?
Yes.
I had no idea. Okay.
He doesn't look like a guy that would have that.
No, he doesn't at all. He's very buttoned up.
But they made a movie for Netflix, and they're doing the interview tour and stuff to promote it. Apparently, it's really good.
Yeah.
They said that Netflix asks you, when you're making a movie for them, to basically reiterate the plot. Like, say in clear language, this is what the plot of the movie is. This is what is happening 3 to 4 times a movie, because people are so distracted by their phones when they're watching the movies that they'll go 30 minutes without seeing anything, and they'll look up and not know what's going on and think, oh, this movie sucks, and turn it off. So they have to continuously just remind you, here's what's happening in this movie during the movie, because people are so distracted that they're missing major plot points.
Those people suck. So,
but that is, it's wild, but that is what Netflix is telling the people that make their movies now, is to reiterate the plot 100 times.
I don't like that.
The plot of the Super Bowl.
No, it's not the plot. These are the characters.
The characters. And the plot will be whatever the NFL decides.
It'll be revenge for the Seahawks, who lost to the Patriots, a decade plus ago now?
Yeah.
In that crazy game where you're like, oh, I've got the most physical running back maybe in NFL history back here on the 1-yard line. Let me throw it. One of the all-time botched play calls.
In 2 stories of redemption in this game, it's very fascinating. The two, it's the same angle, but one involves a coach, one involves a quarterback on opposite sides. Mike Vrabel, fired by the Titans, should not have been, was, as it tends to be in professional sports, he was the scapegoat for a poorly run organization. They blamed him for their incompetence, and you're seeing what has happened since then, but he goes back to New England and brings them back to basically immediate glory. Mm-hmm. And then Sam Darnold. I mean, he was the butt end of every joke. He gets drafted by the Jets. And again, in professional sports, this is kind of how it goes. He was the scapegoat for a pathetically run organization, had to bounce around a little while. And sure enough, he gets into the right situation in Seattle and leads them to a Super Bowl. So there's 2 angles of redemption in this matchup, and both of them really interesting stories on top of it being just the Super Bowl and stuff like that. But Darnold in particular is pretty easy to root for considering what he's been through.
Yeah. You know what's funny about Darnold, and I'm not trying to make myself out as this great evaluator or anything, because he certainly would not have thought this was ever going to happen. But when he was in college, he was a guy that I watched and I was like, I see it. I see why the pro scouts really like him, right? He's got a lot of tools. Whereas with he was there at the same time Josh Rosen was. And I was just like, I don't see it with Rosen. I just don't. And, he struggled. Of course, he went to the Jets. And that's just the worst organization. I don't know who's the worst organization, the Jets or the Browns. We'll just say yes. And so it's almost impossible to be successful there. And he got off to a slow start, and then he just goes to Minnesota and just happens to be in the right situation, which, by the way, if you're the Vikings right now, you're just looking around going, what did we do? We had this guy. We could have signed him. Instead, we draft J.J. McCarthy, who, by the way, will never be good. There's an evaluation I'll give you right now. He ain't never going to be good.
Done.
And now this guy's off in the Super Bowl. So, Jackson Smith and Jigba was my fantasy MVP this year, so I'm kind of rooting for the Seahawks. He had a great game on.
Is he the one that has the Cowboys tattoo on his arm? Is that him?
Possibly. I don't know the answer.
There is a Seahawk with a big old Cowboys tattoo on his arm.
I mean, Reuben Foster played 4 years at Alabama with an Auburn tattoo on his arm. Yeah. It'll be all right. So, and of course, from a Mississippi, are there any Ole Miss guys in this? I know Ben Brown is playing for the Patriots, which
Jared Ivey, and then Chris Paul's on the practice squad.
Okay, and then Charles Cross obviously plays for the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm. Ivey and
we might be able to talk to Ben Brown. We might be able to. I don't know yet. I'm working some back alley St. Aloysius connections on that one. He and I, 30 years apart, played the same position at St. Al. We got a lot in common. He is easily the most famous left tackle in St. Al history. I think I'm third.
Okay. Well, that's good.
You got Drake Dorbeck, who won the Hull a couple years back from Southern Mississippi.
Bronze is good.
Yeah, I'll take third. There could be somebody else there, but nobody else comes to mind.
And the most mind-blowing thing in all of this is Sam Darnold will be the first quarterback from Southern Cal to start in the Super Bowl.
That is incredible.
It's hard to fathom that.
Think about Southern Cal and their incredible legacy of football, and he's the first one ever.
To start, not win, start.
To start, yeah.
Crazy times.
I'm trying to think my way around. I wonder Delaware might be the small. Doug Williams went to Grambling. Trying to think my way around some smaller schools that would have. Trent Dilfer went to Fresno State. A few others, but yeah, Southern Cal. Come on.
Yeah,
how's that possible?
Makes no sense. We'll wrap the show up with you next. Sports Talk Mississippi. Stick with us.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Here's more. Super Talk Mississippi.
C-Spire text line 601-879-4395. Steve McNair started from Alcorn State. Should have remembered that one. That is one I should have remembered.
Mm-hmm.
One of the three Mississippi schools have had a starting quarterback, if I'm correct. Right? Alcorn, Southern Mississippi, and Ole Miss. Nobody from State. Nobody from Jackson State. Nobody from Valley as a quarterback. So, yeah.
Got to get Dak out of Dallas if you want Mississippi State to be on that list. Got to get him out of there.
Feels accurate. Feels accurate.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen there.
No, I don't believe that it will. So.
That shows you, by the way, sometimes that money truly cannot buy you everything.
Well,
it can buy you a boat.
First off, you're wrong, though. Money can buy you everything. You got to spend your money wisely, though.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't make a difference if you spend all the money in the world if you spend it poorly. So, why would I take the boat when I could get a mystery box? The mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat. You know how much I've always wanted one of those.
Oh, man. Somebody says there is a 15-year-old in Belgium who has a PhD in physics who is now going to work on a new PhD in order to make superhumans. Take him to jail.
We're going to make mutants?
Take him to jail. Right to jail.
Have you not read X-Men? We know how this ends.
Although the superhumans, saved the UNSC in Halo. So.
That's true.
Oh, man, they botched that TV show. I was so mad. The visuals and all that stuff were really good, but it was not true to lore, and I felt like such a nerd, man. Oh, I felt like after the second episode, I turned it off. I was like, it's not true to lore. And I said that in my head. I was like, it's not true to lore.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with what you just said.
But I thought, at one point in my life, I was cool.
No.
Now I'm complaining about a show on Paramount Plus that is not true to the lore of a video game. What happened to me?
You were never cool.
I was cool.
No, I disagree.
I was cool.
You always had that nerd deep inside.
Oh, it was always there.
Yeah. There was something the other day I was just like, I was upset about it. It was something like this. And I don't remember when we had it earlier in the show, though, when the guy said Jedi Master, I was like, okay, let's calm down. All right. Yeah, I can't deal with that kind of stuff.
Me either.
Nor should I. I just got plus 2 points for the Family Guy reference. Here we go.
Yeah. Marty says JSN is finally getting the Cowboys back to the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's the closest they've been since
he is the one?
I think it's him.
Well,
Big old Cowboys tattoo right there on his arm. I think it's him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
That is really funny.
Where's he from?
I have no idea.
From Texas?
But you know how NFL fandom and pro sports fandom comes.
That's true. He's from Texas, though.
There it is.
There you go. So I grew up a Cowboys fan, got a Cowboys tat. And he was drafted in the first round, right?
I believe so.
So let's see here. He's the 20th pick in the 2023 draft. Where did the Cowboys pick? Could they have taken him?
If they chose not to take him.
Surely they drafted before 20. Cowboys that year had I guess not. Oh, yeah, they were the 27th pick. That was a good year for them. Oh well, I can't hate on them too much for that one.
No, can't too much. By the way, that movie that they were promoting is called Rip. I have not watched it yet. I might though. I like those two guys.
Okay.
The Rip. Yeah.
That's the Matt Damon movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think The Town is one of the best.
I haven't seen that. People tell me I need to watch that. And it's like, I like The Departed, so I probably like The Town is what they tell me.
Yeah, in the category, right? Like, it's not one of the best movies ever made. It depends on, but one of the best, like, I guess it's an action movie. It's
a heist movie.
A heist movie.
Yeah.
It's outstanding, though.
So, I need to see that, and I need to see, they just made a sequel, Den of Thieves. I've never seen Den of Thieves.
I have not seen that either.
Everybody tells me it's good. It's like, I love Heat. Heat is one of my favorite movies of all time. Mm-hmm. So I should like these movies. It's one of those things like, I can never convince myself to watch a new movie. Like this past Saturday, I was sitting around, there's nothing on TV. It's like, I'm going to watch a movie. And I'm thinking, people have told me to watch this or watch that. I already watched The Hunt for Red October, which I've seen 1,000 times. I love that movie, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I do that with Lord of the Rings. I'm always
I didn't have 4 hours to spare.
Indiana's band playing Lord of the Rings music was awesome.
Music, yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah. All bands need to learn.
They should have, everybody should play the Game of Thrones theme. Everybody should play the Empire Strikes Back or the Imperial March. And then if you can throw some Lord of the Rings in there, too, by all means.
We will be back tomorrow. I have no word yet on if our stations will be in full. I just know that they are working really hard to try to get us on the air. But as you can imagine, there's a lot of work to be done in the areas affected. So hopefully we get our full complement of stations soon. But in the meantime, stay warm, stay safe. A warm-up is coming. Temperatures above freezing is coming, and hopefully that helps change things for the better. We will see you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Thank you for making our show a part of your day. Good night.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.